Your statewide news network covers Fort Wayne, where police releasing video of a fight at a Tim Hortons that ended in the death of a 75-year-old woman. Investigators say Anita Grayson became upset over a drive-thru order before hitting a shift lead in the face inside the restaurant. They say the two women then began fighting on the floor. Police say when officers arrived, Grayson became unresponsive. She later died at the hospital. The Allen County coroner says the fight did not contribute to her death. A cause of death has not been released.
There are some stories that sound unbelievable the first time you hear them. Not because they happened in some dark alley, not because they involved hardened criminals, but because they started in places that are supposed to feel ordinary, safe, predictable. A coffee shop during the morning rush, customers ordering breakfast, employees trying to get through another shift, and somewhere in the middle of all of that, a single argument began spiraling out of control. Within minutes, shouting turned physical, hair was ripped out, people were screaming, and before the morning was over, a 75-year-old woman would be dead. But what really happened inside that Tim Hortons in Fort Wayne, Indiana? Because depending on who you ask, the story changes, and the surveillance footage released by police only made the mystery even darker. May 13th, 2026, just after 8 o'clock in the morning, the Tim Hortons near Lima Road and West Coliseum Boulevard was beginning another routine day. Workers moved between counters, coffee machines hissed in the background, customers came and went without thinking twice. Then Anita Grayson walked through the doors, 75 years old. According to investigators, she had just gone through the drive-thru moments earlier and was upset about an issue with her order. At first, it may have looked like nothing more than a frustrated customer coming back inside to complain. Something employees deal with every day, but witnesses say the tension escalated almost immediately. Police claim Grayson began berating a 17-year-old employee behind the counter. Exactly what was said inside that restaurant hasn't fully been revealed, but whatever happened in those moments was enough for another worker to step in. A 20-year-old shift lead, young, trying to defuse the situation, trying to separate the teenager from the growing confrontation. And that's when everything started moving faster, much faster. According to investigators, the shift lead told Grayson to leave the restaurant. Police say she placed her hands out to stop the elderly woman from reaching the teenage employee. Then came the shove, then the punch. Suddenly, the argument wasn't verbal anymore. It had become physical. Surveillance footage reportedly captured the next moments in disturbing detail. The two women collided and fell to the floor. Employees nearby rushed toward the chaos. Customers watched in shock. And somewhere in the middle of the struggle, hair was ripped from the shift lead's head. Not a few strands, a chunk. Investigators later confirmed the young worker suffered scratches and had part of her hair torn out during the fight. One detail from the footage stood out to viewers online. After the struggle, Grayson was reportedly seen holding the torn hair in her hand before placing it into her bag. It was one of those strange, unsettling moments that people couldn't stop talking about, because by then, the situation had already crossed into something darker than a customer dispute. But what nobody inside the restaurant realized yet was that the most critical moments were still coming. After employees separated the fight, the restaurant slowly began calming down. At least on the surface, Grayson reportedly sat down at a table. Some witnesses say she made a phone call. Others simply remember the silence that followed the chaos. And for about 10 minutes, everything appeared still. No one knew a medical emergency was unfolding. No one knew those would be some of the final moments of her life. Then suddenly, Grayson collapsed onto the floor. Employees noticed she was in distress and immediately called 911. Paramedics rushed to the scene. Life-saving measures began right there inside the restaurant. Customers who had just watched the fight moments earlier were now watching emergency responders fight to keep someone alive. But despite those efforts, Anita Grayson was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. And almost immediately, questions exploded across social media. What caused her death? Did the fight trigger it? Was force used appropriately? Or was the truth more complicated than the viral clip spreading online?
Online outrage continuing to grow tonight after a video surfaced appearing to show the moments leading up to a woman's death at a Fort Wayne Tim Hortons.
The video appears to be tied to an altercation reported there last Wednesday that remains under police investigation. Wayne 15's Mia Pettigrew has the latest.
Nearly a week after the reported battery at this Tim Hortons, video appearing to show the altercation has been circulating online as the woman's family and community members push for answers. Fort Wayne police say officers were called to the Tim Hortons on Ice Way just after 8 a.m. Wednesday morning for what they describe as an altercation involving a reported battery. Investigators say the woman involved became unresponsive before officers were able to speak with her. She was taken to a hospital where she later died. While police have not officially identified her, family members online say the woman was 75-year-old Anita Grayson. Police say detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected surveillance footage, and processed evidence from the scene as the investigation continues. Wayne 15 does not have permission to show the full video, but these screen grabs appear to show a verbal confrontation between Grayson and an employee behind the counter before the situation becomes physical. It also shows the employee come from around the corner and repeatedly strike Grayson as the two fall near the front of the restaurant. Another employee is later seen approaching before a third person eventually pulls them away. Today, the restaurant's dining room remained closed while drive-thru service continued. In a statement to Wayne 15, Tim Hortons Media Relations said the company was deeply saddened by the incident and said the local franchise is cooperating fully with the police investigation. The Allen County Coroner's Office is still working to determine Grayson's official cause and manner of death. Police say the case will be sent to the Allen County Prosecutor's Office once the investigation is complete.
As rumors spread online, the Fort Wayne Police Department took an unusual step. They released surveillance footage from inside the restaurant. According to police, they wanted to counter what they called inaccurate public narratives circulating across social media. Short clips had already gone viral. People formed opinions before seeing the full sequence of events. Some blamed the employees, others blamed Grayson, but investigators warned the public that the case was still far from settled because there was another major factor investigators couldn't ignore. Grayson's family later revealed she suffered from congestive heart failure and had recently been wearing a heart monitor. And suddenly, the case became even more complicated. Did the stress of the altercation contribute to her death? Was there an underlying medical event already happening? Or was the timing simply a tragic coincidence? As of late May 2026, no arrests have been made, no charges have been filed, and the official cause of death still had not been publicly determined. What began as a complaint over a drive-thru order ended with a woman dead and an entire city searching for answers. Inside that Tim Hortons, there are still moments investigators are piecing together second by second. And until the coroner's report is finalized, the biggest question remains unanswered. What truly caused Anita Grayson's death? Because sometimes the most disturbing stories aren't the ones filled with mystery from the beginning. They're the ones that start in ordinary places and suddenly turn tragic without warning. Alright y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the unfortunate story of 75-year-old elderly black lady, losing her life after having a fight inside of a Tim Hortons. Hey man, definitely condolences to the family. Rest in peace, Anita Grayson. Hey man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!